today here in Memphis at the Pyramid in a Western Conference battle between the Portland Trail Blazers and the Memphis Grizzlies. And welcome to Memphis, Dick Stockton along with Jeff Van Gundy. And how strange is this? My partner Hubie Brown for many years used to be by my side, and used to talk to Jeff when he was the coach of the Knicks behind the desk. Today it was the other way around, Jeff. Two of us went to see Hubie Brown, and you have to say one thing. He has made unmistakable progress with this team since he has taken up after the team started 0-8.
Yes, Dick, despite their record, they are really playing well, and they have the ultimate teacher in Hubie Brown to go along with a number of young, talented offensive players. When a coach takes over a team, he's got to teach them how to win, and then he must convince them how hard they have to work to make that happen. And under Brown, they're 10-5 at home and are playing much more competitively on the road. So with Jerry West acquiring the talent and Hubie Brown coaching that talent, the Grizzlies could be knocking on the playoff door as early as next year. And
it's a great sign for the rest of the basketball world to see that you can put a 69-year-old guy who knows the world of basketball and really teach the fundamentals so well. Meanwhile, the Portland Trail Blazers continued to lead the league in misbehaving. And of course, the latest is the problem regarding their leading scorer and rebounder, Rasheed Wallace. For more of that, let's go to the third member of our team, Charles Davis.
Thank you, Dick. And Rasheed Wallace today is serving the second game of a league-mandated 7-game suspension. But that doesn't mean he's still not getting work in. Earlier today here at the arena, Rasheed was practicing and working out because he's allowed to do that under league rules. He just can't be in the arena more than 2 hours prior to the ball game. He's had to get his work in and leave. We talked with Maurice Cheeks before the game and asked him, will Rasheed appeal this penalty? He thinks not. He thinks that by the time they appeal it, the 7 games will be up. But Maurice Cheeks was emphatic in saying that he thought it was a very, very unfair penalty to their big player. He had 38 and 10 the last time these two teams met. We'll see how it plays out today, Dick.
All right, Charles, and of course the Wallace suspension is a bit of a damper on a team that has really played very well and turned it around. So now how do they cope without Rasheed Wallace in the lineup?
Well, you're always going to miss your leading scorer, leading rebounder, and go-to player. But in the short term, Portland can overcome Wallace's absence because of their great front court depth and because of the leadership of Scottie Pippen. When the Blazers were floundering at 10 and 11, Maurice Cheeks made some hard decisions. He cut back the rotation and gave the full-time point guard position to Pippen, and Pippen has responded well, averaging nearly 13 points a game, just over 5 rebounds, and nearly 5 assists. And so, despite his numbers, what he gives them most is a consistency and a calming effect, and they'll need both of those to beat an improving Grizzlies team.
No question, especially since they're playing well at home. Scottie Pippen has defied Father Time, no question about it. So Portland trying to come back from a loss at home, their first without Rasheed Wallace. See how they do this afternoon. We'll be back in Memphis as the Trail Blazers take on the Grizzlies.
12 games on the holiday slate today, including the Nuggets playing at Washington. How did Michael Jordan do, you ask? Well, hit half his shots, 11 out of 22, scored 25. Wizards over the Nuggets 89-74. Let's play some basketball here on TNT. We go back to Dick Stockton at the Pyramid. Dick?
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. And an enthusiastic throng here at the Pyramid on this Monday afternoon as we bring you today's Circuit City starting lineups. And Zach Randolph will start his second straight game at forward for the suspended Rasheed Wallace for the Blazers. And as Jeff mentioned, they're going to need an uptick in scoring from the likes of Wells and Anderson. Pippen has been playing well. And for the Grizzlies, in a game-time decision, Gordon Giricek, who has been bothered by a bad toe, which he injured in practice yesterday, is a go, which is going to give a sigh of relief for that man, Hubie Brown, because this team would have been sorely in trouble without Giricek.
There's no doubt. Giricek has played well, and they don't want to have to rush Wesley Person back into the starting lineup. Person and Giricek give them great firepower. They're more spot-up shooters, and they complement Gasol, who commands some double teams, but not enough to be a great team. And that's really one of the things that the Grizzlies are missing, that back-to-the-basket player who commands double teams.
And this is a young team, a lot of rookies and second-year people, but coachable people, as Hubie told us before the game, and you go back to their college days. Gooden, of course, coached by Roy Williams, Mike Krzyzewski coaching Shane Battier, and of course a lot of the Europeans well schooled.
Well, they are really well coached. They're receptive to coaching, and you'd always rather start with good offensive players and then try to teach them defense rather than get defensive players and then try to teach them offense.
So Hubie Brown, this is the first time I've done a broadcast with Hubie Brown on the bench since the 7th game of the 1984 Eastern Finals between the Knicks and the Celtics. Hubie will like to forget that one, as Boston won big, but they beat everyone in those days, right?
They sure did, and if you remember back to that time, the Knicks under Hubie Brown really were the biggest opponent for the Celtics.
Yes.
Bernard King and those teams really pushed the Celtics to the limit.
Mike Callahan, David Jones, and Anthony Jordan are the officials. We're set to go. Grizzlies come in at 12-27, but don't be deceived by that record. They were 0-8 and actually lost their first 13 games, and since then they were only 2 games under 500. So Hubie and Jerry West have them in the right direction, and Maurice Cheeks will talk more about what he has done to get the Blazers straightened out. This has been a dysfunctional team for so many years, but they seem to be on a solid run right now. Tip control by Portland. Anderson guarded by Gasol. Scottie Pippen inside and fronting the center Davis out of bounds, and he loses it.
They tried to post Pippen up against Jason Williams. Lorenzen Wright came over to give help. Pippen pulled to the corner, then tried to lob it into Dale Davis. They forced the turnover.
And here's Jason Williams getting inside. Williams in three-point territory. Good pass inside to Al Gasol. And a good assist that time for Williams. Portland 23-15, losing Saturday to Minnesota 104-98 at home. But they're one of the 3 teams in the Western Conference with a winning record away from the Rose Garden. 8 on the shot clock, and Pippen on the reach-in foul. And that'll be the first foul of the game.
And again, they tried to post Pippen up to try to command a double team, go at Jason Williams, make him guard in the post. Pippen's an excellent passer out of double teams in the low post. There they drew the foul.
There you see the best road records in the NBA. The personal foul was on Jason Williams. Here is Pippen guarded by Williams and has a size advantage. They double team him, and Gasol nearly knocked it away. And underneath Pippen, finding Zach Randolph. Randolph has the ability to be a prolific scorer, Jeff.
He's undersized as a power forward, but he has great scoring touch. If he gets it up on the rim, he's got a great chance to go in.
Lorenzen Wright down in the low post. Davis doing a good defensive job. And then the foul on the hold. And the first Trail Blazers foul of the game.
Here you see Pippen was double teamed. He went up in the air to shoot. He saw Randolph underneath, found him with the pass. Scottie Pippen, one of the great playmakers in the NBA.
Derek Anderson committing the foul. Al Gasol on the turnaround, and good defense that time by Randolph. He'll have his hands full this afternoon. Anderson defended out on the point by Battier, and knocking it away was Al Gasol, and he causes the turnover, giving the ball back to Memphis. Early going here, and Maurice Cheeks, who made the decision that Jeff talked about at the top to put Scottie Pippen in as the point guard, and Damon Stoudemire going to the bench. A forgotten man on this club right now. Here is Juracek from Croatia, and good ball movement by the Grizzlies, but Jason Williams cannot convert. And here's Bonzi Wells. Anderson left open for the shot, and hits with just under 10 minutes to go here in this first quarter.
What most people don't know about both these teams is they're excellent field goal percentage shooting teams because they get the right shots. Right there in transition, open shot, Anderson knocked it down.
Hubie has always said, get the ball to the player where he wants to make the shot, and the block inside, and that was Davis, one of the better defensive centers, and Bonzi Wells doing what he does best, driving to the hoop.
He's very good in the paint, finishing in transition, and also posting the ball up. That's where he's more adept, not out at the three-point line.
Trailblazers by 4 with a little more than 3 minutes now, winding down to the 3-minute mark. Gasol on the drive, in and out. A lot of the Grizzlies shots falling off the rim early on here. Trail Blazers right now 5th best in the West, and they'll call the offensive foul on Scottie Pippen as Jason Williams goes sailing.
That's a very, very poor call by Anthony Jordan. This is a flop by Jason Williams. Pippen gets it in the post. Little contact, but not enough that should warrant a foul. That's just a flop, one that the rookie official bought into.
Well, he is a smaller man, Williams, let's face it. But you're right.
Those flops used to kill me, Dick. I want to see full contact to get the offensive foul.
Here's Williams for 3, and the Grizzlies relying a lot on the three-point shot, so Memphis opening up this game 1 for 6 from the field and trailing by 4. Here is Scottie Pippen over Williams, and the rebound by Lorenzen Wright. Wright playing a lot better in the month of January, giving good rebounding to this Memphis team. Jason Williams on the patented drive out of bounds. And Hubie Brown, a lot of people wondered whether Jason Williams would buy into Hubie Brown's coaching style, and he has without question.
I think what most people forget is good players want to be taught and taught well. And Hubie Brown has the confidence in teaching that any good player would want to have. So it doesn't surprise people that know basketball to know that guys like Jason Williams who want to be great want to be coached.
And he has responded. Wells with his second layup. Trail Blazers have run off 8 in a row now, but leading by only 6. And Lorenzen Wright wide open. So now 1 for 7 from the field are the Grizzlies, struggling, but they're getting decent shots. And Gasol missing the one-hander, and Wright on the block. And now the foul is called. And finally the Memphis Grizzlies getting some break as Zach Randolph called for the personal.
Exactly. Nice drive baseline by Giricek. He hits Gasol at the dotted circle, who misses. Then Wright gives excellent effort. Second shot, he goes up once, goes up again. Just very good effort on the offensive board. And Dick, you mentioned they're getting quality shot opportunities. They're just not knocking them in. And Jason Williams really has to be aggressive right now because Scottie Pippen really is trying to sag off of him, get great help in the post. He's going to have to knock that shot down to bring Pippen out of the lane. Pippen's one of the greatest help defenders that the NBA has ever seen.
So Williams now has to deal with one of the hot players in Scottie Pippen, Lorenzen Wright, who is second in rebounding, hitting both free throws, coming off a season's-high 21-point effort against Seattle as the Grizzlies ended up a 6-game Western trip, winning 1 and losing 5. They've won only 2 games on the road all year. But as you mentioned, first you want to win at home and get close on the road. And Derek Anderson getting out to Pippen. 7 on the shot clock for the Trail Blazers. And you're right, Memphis has tightened up the defense, but a foul is called as Scottie Pippen hits the floor, and the personal will go against Jason Williams, but that's his second personal.
And that's really critical here as Derek Anderson loses his shoe and then hits Pippen and finally regains it. But that second foul on Jason Williams is critical because they bring in Brevin Knight, who'll give him better defense, more ball pressure up the court, but is not the range shooter that Jason Williams is. So Pippen is really going to start sagging, helping out on drives and post-ups, making it tough for Memphis to get the quality looks they need.
So 2 fouls on Williams and Brevin Knight, who had 9 assists in the loss at Seattle. And Brevin Knight, who began with Cleveland, then went to Atlanta and acquired in a major deal that helped Memphis as they picked up the rights to Pau Gasol, who is handling the ball now at the point, looking for Giricek, who is posting up. Now low to Gasol, and Gasol turning to the hoop. Good aggressiveness. So that is just the second field goal of the game for the Grizzlies. Derek Anderson, who is yet to take a shot in the game, he's the third leading scorer on the Trail Blazers, and Zach Randolph missing, and Wright battling Davis out of bounds. Last touch by Portland.
Again, they tried to post Scottie Pippen against Brevin Knight. Knight fronted him. They flashed Randolph to the high post. They sagged off it. Randolph missed that shot. The problem with always attacking a matchup, Pippen is a distributor more than a scorer, and you can get out of your offense and your flow when you try to overdo a matchup.
Bonzi Wells on Brevin Knight's miss. Knight was open, so now the Grizzlies 2-11 from the field, but down by 4. And a good steal by Brevin Knight, taking it away from Zach Randolph. One of the few transition situations, and Gericek missing the 3 from the corner. And the Trail Blazers come back with it. So under 6 minutes remaining in the first quarter, the looping pass into Anderson. And the turnaround and a tough shot by Anderson over Gericek. And now the Trail Blazers leading 12-6. And a timeout called by Hubie Brown and the Memphis Grizzlies. So Hubie Brown, whose team just lost to the Grizzlies 100-92 last Wednesday at the Rose Garden, trying to get revenge today. Museum hosted some greats of the NBA, plus members of the Memphis Grizzlies, to a special tour. Opened in 1991, the museum chronicles the impact and influence of the African American movement. It was a special night for the players and the guests. And you can just feel the impact of this day, Jeff, since we got into town, and what it means with the parades and all the festivities in what is a 3-day session.
There's been great enthusiasm, not only for the game, but the whole weekend, and it's really, I think the Grizzly players appreciate the chance to be on the national stage.
Brevin Knight, who came in for Jason Williams, who picked up 2 fouls, and here is Gericek playing despite the injured toe. Gasol going into Lorenzen Wright, and Wright over Davis. Davis defends, second shot up, and that's all. So right now, Memphis having trouble getting that inside basket against the interior defense of the Trail Blazers.
They're getting good looks, they're just struggling to finish it. That's the difference between the good teams and the average teams, of guys who can finish in traffic.
Pippen on a great feed from Bonzi Wells. With nearly 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter, the Trail Blazers leading by 8. Portland shooting 6 of 8 from the field, while the Grizzlies are struggling, yet they do not have a major lead considering all of that. And missing the 3 was Gasol, who was the Rookie of the Year last year, native of Spain. Zach Randolph with the turnaround. And the rebound by Lorenzen Wright. Getting the feed, going down the lane, no one picked him up. Knight to Lorenzen Wright, who finished, and it's 14-8 now.
That was a great fast break. It was 3-on-3. Wright ran and beat Dale Davis down the floor. Brevin Knight hit the trailer. Lorenzen Wright dunked.
Scottie Pippen, who along with Bonzi Wells, each with 4 points to top the Trail Blazers early on. Driving inside, tough shot attempt that time by Wells. Portland getting the rebound with Davis, and they're going to call a jump ball. Grizzlies thinking that there was a travel on the play, but they'll jump it up.
Here they're running the fast break, and you can see Brevin Knight hesitate at the free throw line, dish it back to Lorenzen Wright, and the dunk. And again, no vision, no communication in transition by Portland. It's the hardest area to get a team to guard it, is your transition defense.
What a tough job that Maurice Cheeks has as a coach on this team, as Drew Gooden enters the game, as well as Wesley Person, who missed 9 games with a fractured finger, and the best three-point shooting percentage in the NBA, as the Trailblazers called for the offensive foul, and it's Zach Randolph with his second. So Randolph has 2. He'll go to the bench, and Arvydas Sabonis coming into the game, took a year off, and has become what Maurice Cheeks says is his relief pitcher off the bench.
Well, in limited minutes, he still gives you a post-up threat. Plus, guys love to play with him because when they cut, he finds him. He's a great passer. He also can make the perimeter shot, and his length inside discourages penetration.
Classic passing big man. And a defensive 3-second violation called, and so a person will go to the line. It was called on Arvydas Sabonis, and Wesley Person hitting the free throw, and it'll be Memphis ball out of bounds.
And Hubie's come in with Gooden at the 3 to match up against Bonzi Wells, more defensively to take him out of his post-up game, because Gooden doesn't have the perimeter range to stretch a defense, but he should be able to hurt Bonzi Wells in the post.
Here's Brevin Knight for 2, hitting just inside the line. Brevin Knight coming in to get into field goal, and as he told us before the game, he's used Drew Gooden in both forward and center positions. Coming off the bench, the rookie from Kansas, ball knocked away by Gooden. Last touch by Memphis, so the Blazers with plenty of time on the shot clock with under 3.5 minutes to go in the first. I think Memphis is pretty good shape, down by only 3 considering their shooting woes and the fact that the Trail Blazers are connecting.
They're in great shape because they're continuing to get better looks than Portland as Davis hits that turnaround shot. But I really think that Brevin Knight's last basket is critical because Pippen is going to try to clog the lane. The Memphis Grizzlies point guards have to be extremely aggressive offensively today.
Firing from the corner is Person, Wesley Person. 16-13. And chance to come back now. Person for 3. Person, the only player in the NBA averaging over 50% shooting from beyond the arc. And the crowd capacity at 19,300 cheering. A good hustle by the Grizzlies.
And that's the energy they weren't playing with earlier in the year. They weren't getting on the floor after the loose balls like Person did. That's how you win games in this league. You do the little things, getting loose balls, getting on the floor.
And Dale Davis off the rim, and so with 2:20 to go, Memphis trailing by 3 here in the opening quarter. Knight and Person in the backcourt. And Gooden is up front, along with Pau Gasol, and a turnover. 2-on-1. Here's Bonzi Wells. And Bonzi Wells now with 6 points. Game's high score, and that'll put more gray hair in Hubie Brown's head on the turnover and easy transition. Portland by 5. Grizzlies shooting 25% from the field, and reaching in is Scottie Pippen. Always been one of the great anticipators in the NBA for steals, and losing it out of bounds inexplicably as well. And we're going to have a timeout. Maurice Cheeks going to bring in Jeff McGinnis when we come back.
Atlanta's Studio A. In the course of our triple header, why not log on to NBA.com and answer this, the NBA.com question of the night. How have the Lakers fared this season? Anywhere from missed playoffs up there in the top left to win NBA Finals? If you check missed playoffs, you and I need to talk. Let's go back to Dick and Jeff.
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. Lakers 7 out of 7-3 in their last 10. One of those losses to Houston. Well, the Yao Ming, Shaq battle, you saw it. What's your thought?
I thought both guys played extremely well. I thought O'Neal, like he always is the most dominant player on the court. But I love Yao Ming's demeanor. He kept coming at him. He started the game blocking shots. He kept coming at him, never backed off. Sign of a player who's got greatness in him.
Brevin Knight coming off the bench hitting his second field goal. Ruben Patterson into the lineup for the Trail Blazers. They used to have a very long rotation, cut down to 7, now maybe about 8 now, used by Cheeks. Good behind the back pass by Sabonis to Patterson. And Arvydas Sabonis with a brilliant no-look behind the back.
Great play coming out of a timeout. They threw it into Sabonis in the post, set a back screen, came off the back screen, Ruben Patterson did behind the back dish. That's what's special from the 7-3 guy.
Drew Gooden with a good move inside. Drew Gooden with his first field goal. He was the 4th pick in the draft and the 2nd top scorer for Hubie Brown and 3rd rebounder. But Portland coming right back and leading by 5, 22-17. Here's Gooden at the top. So Bonzi Wells with 8 points, been the game's high score. They're going to need him scoring. Gooden finding Pau Gasol, who got inside. Well executed. You know how much Hubie Brown likes the inside game on offense.
He likes the power post-up game. Gasol's finding himself down there more, and he's finished on that one extremely well.
Final seconds of this first quarter as the Memphis Grizzlies staying with the Portland, and Ruben Patterson hitting his 2nd in a row. One was a layup, this from the perimeter. 5-point game, and the final shot, falling short for Brevin Knight of the first quarter. So after one here at the Pyramid, Bonzi Wells with 8 points, 5 rebounds, a couple of assists, and a good first quarter for Wells as they have to pick up the slack without Rasheed Wallace. And after one here at the Pyramid, the Trail Blazers lead the Grizzlies by a score of 24-19.
Are down by 5 to the Portland Trail Blazers on Martin Luther King Day. I'm honored now to be joined by Danny Glover, the Academy Award-winning actor. And Danny, you're headlining a lot of great festivities here this weekend here for Martin Luther King Day. What's coming up at the half?
Well, what's coming up at the half is the National Civil Rights Museum here in Memphis, the Memphis Grizzlies, and as well as the city are honoring NBA, honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. But also we were presented with some of the Trail Blazers, those who were the first ones to clear the lanes for African Americans in the National Basketball Association.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to it at the half. Dick, Coach.
All right, thank you very much, Charles. And Earl Lloyd, of course, with the Syracuse Nationals, was the first African American to play in the NBA and opened the door, and others followed suit. Start of the second quarter, Dick Stockton along with Jeff Van Gundy. Here at the Pyramid in Memphis, Arvydas Sabonis guarded by Wright. And here is Jeff McGinnis with the drive, and it's tipped by Gooden, and Ruben Patterson tied up with Brevin Knight. And it'll be Portland's ball out of bounds.
On that possession, it was the first time that Memphis went zone. They play a 3-2 zone, and they went to that because Portland shot 68% in the first quarter against their man-to-man. QB Brown told us before the game they really struggle to guard man-to-man. They're going to have to use the zone a lot tonight.
And that's where the quickness comes into play for this Memphis team. As the Blazers turn it over, that's one of the things QB Brown is looking for, a small forward who can shoot, a lot more quickness, as you mentioned. Let's take a look at the first quarter. You talked about Portland's shooting just under 70%, but the turnovers, Memphis defense very pesky, causing 7 turnovers.
Right, and even when you're not shooting well, if you take care of the ball like Memphis did in the first quarter, you can stay in the game. They shot 33%, but only turned it over 2 times.
Gooden following it up and finally connecting. So Drew Gooden, very active, coming off the bench for the Grizzlies, and underneath the basket, Ruben Patterson, who has 6 since coming into the game.
Again, Sabonis got it in the middle of the zone. Nice drop pass to Patterson along the baseline. Very few good passing big men in our league. He is probably the best that we've seen since Bill Walton.
Battier to an open Lorenzen Wright, puts the fake on Sabonis. So the Grizzlies, and we haven't seen many sequences where they've scored in successive possessions in this game.
And again, Wright is an underrated offensive player. He can shoot the 15-footer. Sabonis had to honor that. He showed him the shot and drove right. Finish. Nice play.
Wells comes up empty from the corner in his three-point attempt. And Brevin Knight, remember Jason Williams picking up 2 fouls in the first quarter coming out of the game. And good, no foul call. And fighting for the loose ball is Ruben Patterson. But the Grizzlies get back defensively very alertly. Here is Sabonis. Wells on the baseline and nearly overthrows to Derek Anderson. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Jeff McGinnis, and his shot bounces in.
And that's McGinnis' shot. He's very good going to his right hand and shooting that in-between sort of runner, mid-jump shot, teardrop that Mark Jackson perfected. Got it up over the defense. He's a high, efficient field goal percentage shooter most times this year, down in the mid-30s.
And the backup point guard relegating Goodman Stoudemire to number 3. And here is a 3 by Person, Wesley Person, who comes in averaging over 50% from three-point territory. And what an acquisition he has been by Jerry West.
Here it is. He gets open. He gets airspace. He knocks it down. And underneath, you see Bonzi Wells and Battier engage. They called the foul on Wells. Battier is going to go to the line to shoot the free throw, make it a 4-point play.
And that foul away from the ball, and Bonzi Wells looks pained as he is called for the foul, and so Battier will go to the line. Wells leading the Trail Blazers with 8 points.
But the problem with the Trail Blazers is they almost overreact on every call. They disagree so much. And again, we have another thing with Patterson and Gooden engaged.
Ruben Patterson going after Anthony Jordan, and he's going to be called for the foul, and they're going to have to move Patterson away. Here it is again as Battier put up the free throw, and he knocked Gooden down.
Again, Patterson was trying to what we call face guard block out Good, in that he wasn't turning into him with his backside. He was facing him. Cheeks obviously disagrees, but he was trying to move him out. To me, that should have been a double foul, Dick, and jump it up at midcourt.
Pau Gasol into the game with the ball for the Grizzlies with Battier, Brevin Knight, Drew Gooden, and Wesley Person, and the blocking foul called against Patterson. So another one called against Ruben Patterson, who is throwing, going to go to the bench. Timeout is called, and right now the Blazers are going to have to settle Ruben Patterson down. He's come off the bench to score 6 points, but has committed 2 quick fouls. Blazers already short-handed as Memphis cuts the deficit to 2.
3 times the chase, 3 times the adrenaline, 3 times the drama. For the first time on network television, Nicolas Cage, gone in 60 seconds, 3 nights in a row. Starting Friday, February 14th at 8, only on TNT.
Told you if we showed up late, we'd never find a place to sit. Check it out!
Dude, we're so close we can practically taste the action.
Bud Light is proud to sponsor 7-time Supercross champion Jeremy McGrath.
Turn here! Let's go! Sorry.
The Hyundai Santa Fe, with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you take things in stride, you win.
Hot Sims, hot tubs, hot action. Brace yourself. The Sims are on PlayStation 2. Rated T for teen.
EA Games.
Challenge everything.
Grizzlies scored the first basket. Portland has led since, but the lead cut to 2. Remember, TNT is your exclusive home for the NBA All-Star Weekend in Atlanta, capped by the All-Star Game Sunday, February 9th. Exclusively on TNT, and in the Got Milk Rookie Challenge, they call him the G-Force here at Memphis, is Gordon Guricek. And Drew Gooden will be playing for the rookies, and Pau Gasol, the reigning Rookie of the Year for the sophomores. Person missing from the perimeter, and Patterson now is applauding as Shane Battier gets called for his foul as we check out Charles Davis.
Guys in the huddle after that foul call against Ruben Patterson in the second one when he was pretty upset. Mo Cheeks just came in and made the gesture, hey, let's let it go, let's move on, guys. Very clinical in the huddle, just diagrammed some plays, and Ruben Patterson was very engaged during that timeout, very into what the strategy was. Dick?
All right, Charles, Sabonis missing, and the rebound taken down, and the foul as Pau Gasol. And they will call the foul against Memphis. It'll be against Person, his first. Good point made by Charles, because this is a team that is so volatile all the time, Jeff. They have nowhere to go. They have one level, and that is to protest seemingly every call that goes against them.
To have credibility with officials, you have to pick and choose when and how you speak to the officials. And if you complain on nearly every call, they're not going to listen to your complaints because they hear it all the time. So you just have to be measured and be emotionally under control.
Ruben Patterson left the game. Zach Randolph replaced him in the Portland lineup.
Again, he blocked in right here. Drew Gooden, could have been a double foul. That's a definite block. He's got to take away Gooden's right hand. And you just can't argue those type of calls, those bang-bang plays. You've got to know when and how to argue with these guys.
And here's the jump shot. And Daniels with his first points of the game. So Antonio Daniels checking in. He originally was a first-round pick by Vancouver's Grizzlies. And Pau Gasol going right by Sabonis. He has 6 points. He and Lorenzen Wright, along with Wesley Person, lead the Grizzlies, who trailed by 2 again.
That's a mismatch for Sabonis. Gasol's got a quick first step, drove it by him left. Sabonis has no chance to play him one-on-one on the perimeter.
Zach Randolph misses the hook shot inside, and now the Grizzlies with a chance to at least tie this game. Jason Williams back in the game, and good ball movement. Here is Person from outside, and Memphis regains the lead since the opening basket of the game, 31-30.
Great extra pass by Battier. He could have taken the shot after Jason Williams dished him, but he knew he had a 50% three-point shooter in Person. He moved it to the open man. That's unselfish basketball.
And McGinnis gives the Trail Blazers the lead again, but you're absolutely right. Memphis more with an up-tempo style now, and very smart making that extra pass, which has paid off for them. Here is Pippen with a fake pass. Seemed to catch his own pass, but it was deflected, says the official. And McGinnis hitting another one. So 2 straight baskets by Jeff McGinnis. And the Trail Blazers leading now by 3. Well, the pace of this game certainly has picked up. And a good driving around the baseline is fouled.
See Pippen's pushing it on 3-on-2 fast break. He fakes it. It was blocked by Gasol, which makes it okay for Pippen to get his own rebound. Hits McGinnis, and again, McGinnis is a very good open mid-range jump shooter.
Zach Randolph committing his 3rd foul. So Dale Davis, who started the game at center and has scored 2 points, replaces Randolph in the Portland lineup. Nearly halfway through the second quarter, Dick Stockton, Jeff Van Gundy, Charles Davis with you from Memphis as Gasol misses from outside, and now Portland lost their lead momentarily, up by 3. Battier defending McGinnis. McGinnis driving to the basket and scores nicely over Shane Battier.
Again, that teardrop shot in the middle of the lane. McGinnis is a very effective pick-and-roll player. Sabonis stepped out, set the pick on the ball. McGinnis got deep dribble penetration. The Grizzlies got to defend and rebound better. Here comes McGinnis. Great penetration. Up and over Battier. And Portland leads by 5.
Mom, Dad, we're here. Oh, great.
Oh!
The Hyundai Sonata with America's best warranty.
Boy, am I hungry.
When life keeps getting better, you win.
From TNT, a special encore of the new TNT original.
You couldn't get work, Money.
His trusted friend will become his deadly enemy.
If I was starving, I wouldn't wrestle. That's it.
From the director of Lonesome Dove,
Since when you've been doing Law's work, Money?
Tom Selleck is Monty Walsh, the last cowboy. Don't miss this epic western, Saturday afternoon at 2:45, only on TNT. We know drama. Miles out to sea.
A missing sword book, the Andrea Gale.
And the only way home
Drive right through it.
is through a monster. Would be the perfect storm.
Andrea Gale, do you read me? Storms have collided!
See George Clooney and Mark Wahlberg from the network that knows drama. The Perfect Storm, Wednesday night at 8 on TNT. We know drama.
The NBA on TNT, brought to you by Hyundai. When your car comes with America's best warranty, you win. And by Circuit City. We know how you feel. That's why we're here. Circuit City. We're with you.
EJ in Atlanta, Tim Duncan is working on a big day in San Antonio where the Spurs are hosting the Houston Rockets. Off the turnover, it's going to wind up in Duncan's hands. He had 13 in the first quarter. He's got 17. Yao Ming, by the way, has 6 at last report. Let's go back to Memphis.
All right, Ernie, thank you very much. And there you see the look of things in the Western Conference with Dallas leading the way, getting off to that hot start. The Lakers right now 9th. I don't think anyone doubts that LA is going to be there when the postseason begins.
And no one wants to face them in the first round, particularly after you've worked all year to get home court advantage. Can you imagine if Dallas or Sacramento gets the Lakers in the first round?
You know what? I've seen the Lakers win championships with home court, without home court, so I don't even know how important it is for them when they play the way they play come April and May.
No, they have Shaq court advantage. If Shaq's on the court, they got the advantage.
Very good. Well, the Memphis turnover, and now the looping pass into Sabonis from McGinnis, and he stuffs it through. So McGinnis, who scored 8 points in 3.5 minutes, gets the job done as a playmaker here. And the Trail Blazers leading by 7, 1 below their game high. Jason Williams defended well by McGinnis, and losing it is Lorenzen Wright underneath. Pippen with McGinnis, Davis, Sabonis. And the ball dropping off. And Daniels, the other player on the floor for Portland. Wright held as he tried to pass it outside on the perimeter. And the personal will go against Antonio Daniels, his first.
At Portland's offensive end, their inside players, Sabonis and Davis, have the advantage because they got power. But Memphis has to run them because they cannot, particularly Sabonis, keep up with Wright and Gasol in transition.
Coming up next on TNT as part of our Martin Luther King Jr. Day coverage, Boston and Philadelphia, those age-old rivals, followed by the Clippers and the Lakers in the neighborhood brawl out west. Wednesday at 9 o'clock, the Washington Wizards and Michael Jordan go against the New Orleans Hornets at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thursday on TNT, it'll be the Dallas Mavericks against the Philadelphia 76ers, followed by the Nets against the Golden State Warriors. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern. Lorenzen Wright misses both free throws. He is only a 64% shooter. And we wind down to 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Bonzi Wells back into the game for Portland, going up and drawing the foul. Wells scored 8 points in the first quarter of the game, and Pau Gasol with his first foul.
That's just a missed assignment defensively. Bonzi Wells on a missed free throw had the ball on the left wing, and Memphis was not matched up correctly. They have Pau Gasol, their center, or power forward, guarding Wells on the perimeter. He's got to give him a little bit more space if he's in a mismatch like that and take away the drive. You want Bonzi Wells to shoot perimeter jump shots.
That's just a matter of the scouting report. I mean, that's what the MO is of Bonzi Wells. You don't want him to go to the basket.
Exactly, and there's no way that the perimeter players of Memphis shouldn't have knocked Gasol back, taken Bonzi Wells in the wing, and get Gasol back on who he should be guarding, which is either Davis or Pippen.
Juracek driving in and getting the lay-in, so Jordan Juracek from Croatia, 25 years old but a rookie. He led the Russian league last year in scoring, averaging over 20 a game, and has been a fixture as the starting shooting guard for Hubie Brown.
Portland's gone small with Wells at the 4, and Hubie Brown just made a great adjustment. He went back to the zone so they couldn't isolate Pau Gasol on one of their perimeter players.
And the turnover. And here comes the Grizzlies with Jason Williams, leaving it for Battier. Down low to Pau Gasol with a big advantage over Wells, who slaps the ball away out of bounds. Last touch by Portland with 13 on the shot clock.
Here you see Juracek faking like he's going to use the pick and roll, driving baseline and finishing. When you're guarding the pick and roll, you've got to make the man use the pick.
Gasol misses the shot, and on a loose ball, Daniels to Davis. and Gasol getting the rebound. Both teams have missed open shots. Scottie Pippen hobbling as he gets back defensively. Giricek with a 2, had his foot on the line. But Gordon Giricek now with 6 points. Person leads Memphis with 9, and all of a sudden a 5-point lead as the Grizzlies don't go away. They are 10-9 at home and have played well before the home folks, staying in this game. 3 minutes and 43 seconds to go in the first half at the Pyramid.
All together in sync, so competitive. Brothers to the core, we link, don't forget it. In bad times and good, friend or foe. If life's a game you play, then I'm one for all day in the dirt, my sweat's my paycheck. We're brothers to the core. It's like one for all, if one should fall, we tight despite the weather and fight for one cause. We're brothers to the core, so please believe me. Never forfeit the game, my team needs me. No one ever said success would come easy, but that's when my friends step in with LOVE.
I gotta go potty.
Got a quarter?
The Hyundai Santa Fe, with America's best warranty, 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you solve problems in new ways, you win.
Jim! Hey, Mikey. There's our TV, 57-inch widescreen. Looks even better than last week.
Can we take it home this time?
Therein lies the problem, Peter. The minute we take it home, I'm going to see it on sale.
You know, with Circuit City's Price Match Plus, you don't have to worry about that.
Huh.
Don't worry, take it home. And right now at Circuit City, buy any big screen TV and get free delivery. Guaranteed in time for kickoff of Sunday's big game. Circuit City, we're with you.
The cop who won't stop is back.
You're the great Sam Gerard.
Yes, I am.
And you always have to win.
Yes, I do. Tommy Lee Jones, Wesley Snipes, U.S. Marshals. Saturday night at 8 on TNT. In 1991, 6 men set off on a collision course with history. George Clooney.
This is the moment of truth.
Mark Wahlberg. The Perfect Storm. Wednesday night at 8 on TNT.
You know, we had to pry you away from Marv and Mike, but you know, the body language here is that you're really enjoying it, and that you like being a solo guy here, huh?
Well, to get away from Mike Fratello is a holiday in and of itself, and then to get a chance to even sit next to the telestrator, which he protects with his life,
it's newfound power, and I know you're enjoying yourself, and I think when you go back to those guys, you have to start to make some demands.
Well, they're going to hear about this.
Yeah. Pippen. And the long rebound controlled by Giricek. But it's fun being with you, watching my former partner on the other side. You know, if you sit with me long enough, you're going to get to be a head coach again. I hate to tell you that. Here's Pau Gasol feeding Williams back to Gasol, and goes up, and they're going to call the foul against Memphis, the offensive foul against Jason Williams, and that is 3 on Williams, who has not scored. So Hubie Brown now is going to go to Brevin Knight off the bench. By the way, you talked about the rebounding, which Portland is dominating. We ought to keep in mind that Stromile Swift, who is averaging 5 rebounds a game, unable to go today because of an injured hand. It was swollen on the West Coast trip, so he is shorthanded as far as big people.
He is, and what Memphis needs to do to rebound the ball better as well is they got to get their perimeter players back in there to get some rebounds, because Gasol is more of a power forward. Lorenzen Wright is an undersized center. They need to have their perimeter players get up on the board. Battier should be a good rebounder. Giricek is athletic enough, he can rebound as well.
Gasol, meanwhile, has only 1 rebound, to give you an example of what you're talking about. Pippen inside, off the hands of McGinnis. And Trail Blazers still have it, and Bonzi Wells with an off-balance shot, but a new clock for the Blazers.
Well, one of the weaknesses of the zone defense, it may help you camouflage some one-on-one defensive deficiencies, but it hurts you on the backboard because you have no assigned lockout responsibility.
And McGinnis never really had control as he went up with that shot, and they're going to have a loose ball foul called against Davis. You know, when the People ask me when Hubie Brown went to coach again, were you surprised he's been away so far? I said he has not been away. Number one, he knew more about the league, and I know when he talked to the likes of you, Jeff, and other coaches, he was asked a lot of questions and was asked himself by a lot of questions. He did clinics all over the world. He was so informed about the league, especially this team, because his son Brendan was an advanced scout, so he knew all about Memphis. So no surprise there as you look at Brendan on the way.
It reminds me a lot of the Dick Vermeil scenario coming back from broadcasting in football. When he went back to the Rams and he did such a great job there, there's no reason that Hubie Brown won't do a great job here. And people are talking like this has to be a short-term thing. But when you were in the office with him, you sense great energy and great passion. I think he'll be here for a long time. And I think, like I said before, he's going to have this team in the playoffs quicker than most people think.
Yeah, I said, you're having fun. He says, well, you know, the wins are fun, the losses are not. But you can tell by his energy that he is into it big time. 7 on the shot clock, and Pippen is fouled, and Brevin Knight fouling Scottie Pippen, the old adage about fouling a jump shooter. Yep.
That will send Hubie into halftime with some ammunition. Because of their defensive deficiencies, oh yes, he looks like he's just not a happy guy right now, but one of their defensive deficiencies is that they do not play at all times like a smart defensive team. And you look at their records, they started off so poorly. It's been an uphill fight, but they've shown great improvement, particularly at the offensive end.
And you look at the months, you know, when I worked with Hubie, he was very big on talking about a team's record per month. He used that as a guideline, and he's done pretty well, 10 and 13 in the months of December and January. A little overheated now on the sidelines is Hubert Jude Brown and his son Brendan next to him. He's got some good friends in Al Whistle and other coaches. And here is the steal by Derek Anderson, feeding Scottie Pippen with one of the few transition baskets for the Trail Blazers.
And that's one of the things that gets lost with the Trail Blazers. The focus is usually on their behavior. They are a very unselfish basketball team. They pass the ball extremely well, and they have a very good assist to turnover ratio.
Well, the Portland Trail Blazers just a few days ago had the 4th best record in the West, and they've dropped now behind Phoenix. Timeout called, an 8-point lead for Portland as we check it over now to Charles Davis.
Dick, thanks a lot. You know you and Hubie were longtime partners calling these NBA games on TNT and TBS. He did it since the 95-96 season. Well, yesterday we had a chance to talk with Hubie Brown about one Dick Stockton.
When I think of NBA basketball, I think of Dick Stockton. And Dick and I were a solid team. And fortunately, we were able to get a lot of accolades during the course of the years. And I could have never gotten to the point that I was able to make without a outstanding announcer who understood his role and allowed me to create my role.
Well, that's very nice of Hubie, but I say I was the lucky one, and I talked to you earlier today that I, for a play-by-play announcer, learned more basketball from Hubie Brown being next to him over the years.
That was heavy praise by Hubie, well-deserved, and you guys were basketball's broadcasting, you know, the team that sort of created the interest in basketball with the basketball coach. Hubie Brown really is one of the first coaches to really make a huge impact on the broadcasting field, and it's beneficial to all coaches who are unemployed like myself. Set the standard.
Well, it's always good to have a knowledgeable coach by your side. I did with Hubie, and I'm fortunate to have that today with you, Jeff. So,
well, Hubie's an encyclopedia, and he always, when he would come in there and question us before games, you always would tend to look at him and wonder if he got the answer right to the question he asked.
I felt that way working with him myself and things we did. Derek Anderson with the fall away, and with 1:15 to go in the first half, it's a 10-point lead for Portland, and Lorenzen Wright coming right back with the basket, cutting it to 8. So the 10-point lead, the first double-digit advantage of the game for Portland in the waning moments of this first half. Anderson with a screen from Davis, missing the 3, and Lorenzen Wright getting it to Brevin Knight. Grizzlies trying to make a last-minute run here before intermission. Giracek blanketed by Anderson. Pippen on Knight, 10 on the shot clock. Under 40 seconds to go in the half. Gasol can't find anyone inside, and Brevin Knight hitting from outside. Brevin Knight with 6 off the bench, with Jason Williams hampered with 3 personal fouls.
Such an important shot. Again, Pippen was in the lap of Gasol, making it difficult for him to get a move. They kicked it out. Brevin Knight made a high-arcing shot, one that's critical, and now he's guarding Pippen. They got a great double team. Bonzi Wells missed the open J.
Well, coming up, it's the Verizon Wireless Halftime Report with a special tribute on Martin Luther King Day. Special guest Danny Glover and music performance by Memphis' own Isaac Hayes, who sang the national anthem before this game. Pau Gasol with his second personal foul, and Bill Russell, who is one of the pioneers for African Americans in the NBA, making his way into the pyramid as Pippen goes to the line for 2.
Wasn't he one of your broadcast partners at one time, too?
He was my first at CBS. Actually, Kevin Lockery for 1 year, and then worked with Bill Russell. I've been very fortunate. Tommy Heinsohn, Billy Cunningham, Hubie Brown. Now I can add Jeff Van Gundy to the list.
It's too bad Hubie didn't have Bill in his prime. Then he would be worried about their interior defense.
His kind of player.
That's exactly right.
10 points for Scottie Pippen, who you talked about before the game, and how important he has been since installed as a point guard. Here is Brevin Knight scooping it up and in with 2.4 on the clock. They cut the lead to 6. Down court, the ball, let's see if it was deflected. And checking, Scottie Pippen is claiming there should be more time on the clock than 0.8 of a second. And a 20-second timeout called by Maurice Cheeks on the Portland sideline. So that's the story. 0.8 left. Enough to get off a shot.
Yes, and this is what you practice a lot in your late game special situations work, is how on one pass can you create an open shot. So I wouldn't be surprised if they have some type of backstream lob and or throw it into Sabonis, because he's got such a size advantage to get an inside catch and hook.
Want to remind you, the Celtics and the 76ers next as part of our triple header today. Later tonight, the Clippers and the Lakers. Wednesday, Washington and New Orleans. And on Thursday, a doubleheader with the Dallas Mavericks against Allen Iverson and the Philadelphia 76ers, and the New Jersey Nets leading the Eastern Conference against the improved Golden State Warriors. So 0.8 of a second remain. And it'll be Bonzi Wells inbounding. Pippen fires, and it would have counted had it gone. It doesn't. And so the Grizzlies cut the lead. Blazers shooting 50% from the field. And the Memphis Grizzlies, who are trying to stay above water at home, trailing the Portland Trail Blazers 48-42 at halftime.
Sake, so competitive. Brothers to the core, we late, don't forget it. In bad times and good, friend or foe. If life's a game you play, then I'm 1 for 0. All day in the dirt, my sweat's my paycheck. We're brothers to the core. It's like 1 for all, if one should fall, we tight despite the weather and fight for one cause. We're brothers to the core, so please believe me. Never forfeit the game, my team needs me. No one ever said success would come easy, but that's when my friends step in with LOVE.
Alt t-shirt, $18. Spider-Man watch, $20. Men in Black sunglasses, $16. Hearing your dad scream like your little sister, priceless. There are some things money can't buy. Everything else, there's MasterCard. The official thrills and chills card of Universal Orlando.
Oh, there it is.
Greg, can I borrow your tan?
Yeah, sure, Phil.
Introducing Phillips' $1 million Big Shot Sweepstakes. It's the only shot that counts. Enter to win at NBA.com to take a shot at winning $1 million at the NBA All-Star 2003. And now with Phillips, everyone wins with rebates from $50 to $100 on selected Phillips products. Check out participating retailers or visit NBA.com and you may be the big shot.
Woo! Got to admit, it's getting better, a little better, all the time.
The Verizon Wireless Halftime Report is presented by Verizon Wireless, official wireless provider of the NBA.
Can you hear me now?
Good. And singing the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last.
Welcome to the Verizon Wireless Halftime Report. Our score, Portland 48 and Memphis 42. It's a special day here in Memphis, and to commemorate it, we have a special ceremony to present. To get things started, let's go to our public address announcer, John Paul Stevenson.
The Grizzlies would now like to honor those African-American pioneers of the NBA whose efforts laid the foundation for sports today. Ladies and gentlemen, the Grizzlies are proud to introduce tonight's halftime master of ceremonies, star of stage, screen, and television, Danny Glover.
Thank you. It is a great honor to be here in Memphis on this historic day when we remember, celebrate, and act on the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement. At this time, please welcome a member of the Martin Luther Day Commission and the Commissioner of the National Basketball Association, David Stern.
The NBA is pleased to join the Grizzlies, the City of Memphis, and the National Civil Rights Museum in commemorating Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Each year, the NBA family celebrates the life and legacy of Dr. King. His fight for racial equality defined America as a land of opportunity for all. We are proud that basketball and all sports can be used to demonstrate the truth of Dr. King's wisdom, that the opportunity to play yields the opportunity to excel as a player, as a coach, as an executive, and yes, as an owner. So let's join Danny as we honor Dr. King and those in the NBA family who represent his dream. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, the Grizzlies, along with the National Civil Rights Museum and the City of Memphis, would like to recognize those individuals whose trials and triumphs in both the Civil Rights Movement and the integration of professional basketball have cleared the lane for today's athletes and individuals. First, this veteran of the NBA spent 14 years as the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, becoming the only coach in the team history to win an NBA championship. Al Attles. Joining Al is one of the Memphis sanitation workers who marched with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in the 1968 strike. Taylor Rogers. The first overall picked in the 1970 draft, an 8-time All-Star. As a special assistant to the commissioner, he leads the NBA's Read to Achieve program. Hall of Famer Bob Lanier. With Bob is the former executive director of the Memphis NAACP in 1968 and present board member of the National Civil Rights Museum, Maxine Smith. The NBA's first African-American general manager and team president, also a 2-time winner of the Sporting News Executive of the Year, Hall of Famer Wayne Embry. Accompanying Wayne is the former president of the NAACP and board chair of the National Civil Rights Museum, Dr. Benjamin Hooks. The founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Black Entertainment Television, and now the nation's first African-American majority owner in professional sports with the newly awarded Charlotte, North Carolina NBA franchise, Robert Johnson. Chief Executive Officer of Hyco Companies with interests in more than 40 businesses internationally and majority owner of your Memphis Grizzlies, Michael Hinesley. Please welcome the first African American to play in the NBA. He is also the first to win an NBA championship and the first African American assistant coach, the second head coach, and first bench coach in professional basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, Earl Lloyd. Accompanying Earl is the first African American to play basketball at the University of Memphis. He is now the Executive Vice President of First Tennessee Bank, Herb Hilliard. In his 13-year pro career, he led the Boston Celtics to 11 NBA championships. He was the first African-American coach in NBA league history. He is one of the 50 greatest basketball players of all time. Please welcome Bill Russell. Accompanying Bill is the first African-American to serve as head coach for the University of Memphis, leading the Tigers to 6 NCAA tournament appearances, Coach Larry Finch. And join us in honoring these pioneers whose lives and careers have been a true celebration of Dr. King's legacy.
please remain standing and join Billy Rivers and the angelic voices of faith led by a musical legend, Memphis' own Isaac Hayes, in Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Every voice and sing, earth and heaven rings, rings with the harmonies of liberty, and our rejoicing rise high as the listening stars. Let it sound high as the rolling sea. Everybody sing! Sing a song, put all the faith and the dark and honor. Sing a song, put all the faith and the present and honor. Taking the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast called us out, Lord, thou who hast mine, get us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Let harmony break from the places our God will defend it. Let's come on, drunk with the wine of the world we forget it. Shadow beneath our head, holy Lord, to our God, to our angel facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
Gentlemen, please join us in saluting all the individuals who participated in our halftime ceremonies.
A stirring and memorable performance here at halftime at the Pyramid in Memphis. And we'll return for the second half of the first of our triple header on Martin Luther King Jr. Day after these messages.
TNT, the exclusive home of the 2003 NBA All-Star Game.
Chicago Bear Brian Urlacher and his mom brought Miss Patel new Campbell's Chunky Herb Roasted Chicken with potatoes and garlic, with big chunks of savory chicken. Filled up right at lunchtime, Miss Patel bravely ended nap time.
Coming to DVD. America's new action hero is reborn on DVD, packed with bonus features and an incredible alternate ending. It's the DVD that will blow your mind. The Bourne Identity. Buy the DVD Tuesday.
Daddy, what are you doing?
Paying bills?
You sure got a lot of bills.
Yeah.
You know, Wendy's Junior Bacon Cheeseburger made Dave's way. A hot baked potato, crispy chicken nuggets, even our chili is just 99 cents every day on Wendy's Super Value menu.
Phil, help. You can take this back.
Hey, this
Isn't this your brother's?
The super value menu at Wendy's, the best 99 cents you can spend.
Move. Ready.
Hello, ladies.
Set.
Let's go.
Gone. Coming to TNT 3 nights in a row. Nicolas Cage.
We do this, we do it my way.
Angelina Jolie.
What do you think is more exciting, having sex or stealing cars?
For the first time on network television. Gone in 60 seconds. 3 nights in a row. Starting Friday, February 14th at 8. Only on TNT.
Okay, let's ride.
We know drama. Miles out to sea.
A missing sword book, the Andrea Gale.
And the only way home.
Drive right through it.
Is through a monster. Would be the perfect storm.
Andrea Gale, do you read me? Storm to collide!
See George Clooney. And Mark Wahlberg.
Hold on, kid, I can't hold him!
From the network that knows drama. The Perfect Storm. Wednesday night at 8 on TNT. We know drama.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association is intended solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any retransmission, reproduction, rebroadcast, or other use or dissemination of this telecast, or the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
It's game 1 of our triple header today, and the Portland Trail Blazers lead the Memphis Grizzlies 48-42, 10 for Bonzi, 10 for Scottie Pippen. Third quarter coming up.
The Halftime Report is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Can you hear me now? Good.
5 of those years, Yao goes to the basket baseline, turns, jump, and
Whether you're shopping, traveling for business, or back at school studying, this new year your family can stay in touch thanks to Verizon Wireless. Get them the America's Choice National Family Share Plan. Now with unlimited night and weekend airtime minutes on up to 4 separate lines, so everyone can share all they want. Plus, hurry and buy one Motorola phone for $29.99 and get a second free, so you can have a family get-together whenever you want. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good. Joe! Hey, Mikey. There's our TV, 57-inch widescreen. Looks even better than last week.
Can we take it home this time?
Therein lies the problem, Peter. The minute we take it home, I'm going to see it on sale.
You know, with Circuit City's Price Match Plus, you don't have to worry about that.
Huh. Don't worry, take it home. And right now at Circuit City, buy any big screen TV and get free delivery. Guaranteed in time for kickoff of Sunday's big game. Circuit City, we're with you.
Survivors of Flight 180 caused an outward ripple in Death's design.
Some people even said that death itself was stalking them.
It's tying up all the loose ends, sealing the rift once and for all.
We have to follow the signs.
We have to fight this thing. Watch it! I hope you're ready for this.
Final Destination 2, rated R, starts Friday, January 31st.
Oh, my booty, it's chilly, it's baby back rib, it's the booty, it's baby back ribs. It's chilly, it's baby back rib, it's the booty, it's baby back.
Mesquite smoked, boldly seasoned, moist and tender. Chili's.
Baby back ribs, barbecue sauce.
She's dark green, cashback, low intro, and end of the month. He's yellow, travel, everyday rate, and middle of the month. She's purple, travel, low intro, and beginning of the month. Introducing Bank One's Personal Platinum, the simple new way to choose your rate, your reward, your billing date, even your color. Bank One's Personal Platinum, issued by us, but created by you.
What do you call a sports sedan? That's more sports than sedan. The all-new 220 horsepower Mazda 6. Are you a real fan?
Want to see the replay? Want to be courtside? Have you ever been in the locker room? Need a photo? Need a score? When is game time? Did you catch that? Looking for some stuff? Then log on to NBA.com and check out all your favorite NBA apparel. To shop, log on to NBA.com or America Online keyword NBA.com. What are you doing? Experience the NBA online. NBA.com.
Back here at the Pyramid with the Portland Trail Blazers leading the Memphis Grizzlies 48-42. And the halftime statistics, Portland has shot the ball well from the very start. 50% to 42 for Memphis. Memphis has caused 10 turnovers and the big rebounding edge for Portland. How do you look at the first half, Jeff?
I thought both teams got quality shots. I thought both teams' offenses were better than their defenses. Both teams' benches played very, very well. I think in the second half, Portland have to make sure they cut down on the turnovers, and they've got to go at Memphis inside, make them guard their power post-up game. And then Memphis, the more up-tempo it can be, the better off they're going to be. So they've got to continue to try to get stopped so they can get out and have their bigs run by the bigs of Portland.
Trailblazers had a 10-point lead, and then the Grizzlies put on a run and led at one point 31-30, and then 10 in a row run off by Portland, and then the Grizzlies cut it down toward the end. So as we start the second half, Jason Williams playing with 3 personal fouls. We'll bring it up. Pau Gasol is in there, along with Lorenzen Wright, Gordon Giricek, and Shane Battier for Memphis. So third quarter, the key always for Portland when they outscore. And the three-point basket by Jason Williams, his first points of the game.
Again, Brevin Knight had a great first quarter by attacking Scottie Pippen as he tried to be a help defender. There, Williams did it. Shooting the open three, that's going to be a key for Memphis in the second half.
Bonzi Wells, who had 10 points, tied with Scottie Pippen for the scoring lead with 10. And Dale Davis with an errant pass turns it over. That's 11 turnovers. Open is Lorenzen Wright. So 5 straight points to start the third quarter.
Again, force the turnover. Portland is not getting much out of the Pippen post-up. Turnover, fast break basket. Jason Williams very aggressive in his push, kicking it to Lorenzen Wright for the open jump shot.
Timeout called by the Trailblazers to try to stem the tide.
Here's Jason Williams is fronting, gets a hand on the high-low pass. Battier does a nice job getting the outlet at, and Jason Williams pushes it, draws the bigs of Portland, kicks it out to Lorenzen Wright, spotting up. Nice fast break by the Grizzlies.
And speaking of the bigs of Portland, they'll start the same group that started the game. Dale Davis with Zach Randolph and Bonzi Wells up front. And in the backcourt, Derek Anderson and Scottie Pippen. Pippen with 10 points. Wells also with 10, but you can see the furrowed brow of Mo Cheeks. Doesn't like what he's seeing now as his lead has been cut to 1.
You never want to come out in the third quarter where you need to reestablish your identity and your intensity and have a team go 5-0 right off the bat.
Here's Anderson, leaves it for Davis, and the jumper hits Bonzi Wells. And with Rasheed Wallace, who is the leading scorer at over 17 again, they're going to need a lot from Wells. Missing the lay-in inside. Off the rim was Lorenzen Wright. Portland coming back in the early moments, and the offensive foul going against Portland as Battier hits the deck, and Bonzi Wells with his second.
Very good defense, one-on-one. Bonzi Wells crosses over, Battier moves his feet. Very good at cutting off the baseline. Wells used his arm to create the contact. Good call by the official.
Grizzlies, a very young team, and with Jerry West, and a bad pass that time by Gasol, but picked up by the Grizzlies with plenty of time on the clock. Giricek, and open is Lorenzen Wright. He was wide open, short-rimmed it, and here's Scottie Pippen coming back to Portland. Trailblazers will play for the next 5 on the road after this game. Zach Randolph misses a good percentage inside shot.
Very good penetration that time by Wells, finding Zach Randolph. He's got to convert those.
Giricek with the stop and the hit. 8 points for Gordon Giricek out of Croatia. He is the leading three-point percentage shooter on this team. Portland by 1. Here's Davis against Lorenzen Wright. Good defense by Wright. Williams throws it away.
Again, they had a nice opportunity transition. Williams pushed it, came to the three-point line, saw Gasol. He had Giricek in the other corner, where Giricek's at his best, spotting up at the three-point line.
And the pushing foul on Giricek. Jason Williams, by the way, has improved his assist-to-turnover ratio tremendously.
And Giricek's I have never seen him before live. That's a tough move, that in-between pull-up game. Not many people in the NBA have that.
And Pippen with the short lob pass to Dale Davis. 3-point lead now for Portland. A little more than 3 minutes gone by. 9:10 to go in the third. Williams defended by Pippen. Williams with 3 fouls in the game. Giricek for 3. He's got it. Gordon Giricek. So Giricek and Williams both hitting from downtown.
You've seen him do 3 things, Giricek. Drove the baseline and dish to right. He missed it. Showed the pull-up jump shot and now the three-point game. He is really an accomplished, skilled offensive player.
And there's Derek Anderson answering with a 3. 55-52, so an exchange of 3 points, and that is the first three-pointer for the Trail Blazers in this game.
I really think they should leave Jason Williams down there and give him a little bit of help, but I think the double team is giving up too many easy baskets. Scottie Pippen's not a great post-up player. Make him make some shots.
Williams in and out for the 3. They double team down low on Lorenzen Wright, leaving Williams free. Now Bonzi Wells at the top with Battier defending. Portland in their second game without Rasheed Wallace, who was suspended, and the timeout is called, and Scottie Pippen with some words for Mike Callahan, and a technical foul called against Pippen. So there you have it. The Trail Blazers don't take anything sitting down, do they?
And that's their most poised veteran player who just took the foul. Again, he was thinking that Jason Williams had too much contact. Jason Williams did a great job fronting the post, and then on the lob he got great help. And here comes Pippen. I think a wrong reaction. I don't think there was a foul, and there certainly was no need to take a technical foul at that time.
You know, I think in the Pacific Northwest things are kind of peaceful out there, but you never know it from the way this team composes themselves. The tee on Pippen.
All new, 220 horses, and one more thing. The all-new 220 horsepower Mazda 6. Does your phone get color? Does it get exclusive games like the Lord of the Rings? Well, what are you waiting for? Get the vibrant Motorola T720 today for under $80 when you trade up to color at Verizon Wireless. This full-color phone with gaming capability is now just $79.99 after trade-in rebate. There's never been a better time to get the coolest color technology, but this offer won't last forever. So get up and get to your Verizon Wireless communications store and trade up to color today. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Here's one sweet deal for you and your family. Introducing Papa's Cinnapie from Papa John's. It's a 6-inch cinnamon pie baked in our own ovens and finished off with swirls of sweet glazed frosting. Now there's a sweet ending to a delicious Papa John's pizza. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's. For a limited time, get our new Papa's Cinnapie free when you purchase a large one-topping pizza for just $9.99.
The NBA on TNT, brought to you by Verizon Wireless. Sign up for America's Choice Family Share Plan. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you. And by the all-new 220 horsepower Mazda 6 Sports Sedan.
Back here at the Pyramid, Scottie Pippen picking up the technical, but he has played well tonight with 10 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. So much runs through Pippen, who had summer knee surgery, and complicated with an infection. He has played in every game. His minutes has increased to 37. He has given the Trail Blazers more than you would have expected, and here is Jason Williams shooting the technical free throw and making it. So Portland's lead now 2.
Pippen may have had a point that he got swiped across the face on the help as the lob pass came in. But knowing the temperament of the rest of the players on his team, I think it's really important that he, as a veteran, he as a person who has won 6 championships, show them the demeanor on how to handle a difficult call.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the guy that calms the team down on the floor. That was one of the reasons they acquired him to begin with. Anderson's shot knocked away out of bounds last touch.
Here's the lob pass. And here comes Lorenzen Wright, and he does make contact. Certainly it should have been a foul call, but just as certainly, Pippen should have handled it in the way that's best for his team, which is to make a point quietly to the official in hopes of influencing the next call.
Geracek going for the rebound on Derek Anderson's missed, is fouled by Anderson, picking up his second foul. What a scrappy team this Grizzly club is. And, this was a franchise that had not won more than 23 games in a season in their 7-year history. They draft Steve Francis, and he forces them to trade him to Houston. But now I think people are going to want to play in this franchise. Williams' pass goes through Gasol out of bounds. And having Jerry West doesn't hurt.
You have such a great management team. Jerry West running the whole franchise, Gary Colson, then they go out and get Hubie Brown. You're not going to get more knowledge than that in an NBA franchise.
The drive by Anderson tipped out of bounds, so Portland still possesses it with 9 seconds on the shot clock. Bonzi Wells inbounding to Scottie Pippen with the fake and the shot. Pippen now with 12 points. He and Bonzi lead Portland, and Hubie Brown's team led by Lorenzen Wright with 12. Geracek has 11. Person and Knight have 9 and 8 respectively off the bench, so they've got pretty good balance as the Grizzlies try to stay with the Trail Blazers down by 4. And a kick ball and 14 seconds show on the clock.
And Dick, as much as we've spoken about Hubie Brown, we've sort of overlooked Maurice Cheeks, and he has done a great job this year with his team because he has that quiet, fiery demeanor. You don't see the fire, but it's underneath. A great competitor as a player and an absolute great competitor and the right coach for Portland because he has the calming effect that they need.
You're absolutely right. Jason Williams hitting his second 3 of the third quarter. And you'd say, how can a quiet guy like that with no previous head coaching experience do so well with a team that is so dysfunctional with a lot of minutes to go out with so much talent? But he really has done a terrific job. And coming back with another 3. They're 4 for 5 from three-point territory, and Jason Williams with 3 threes here in the second half has 10 points. And Memphis leading by 2, matching their biggest lead, established on the opening basket of the game. And right now, they're causing problems for the Blazers, and Williams commits the foul. Well, just when they've got something going with Jason Williams, he commits his 4th.
And that's one where his emotions ran too high. You see him here, he's done a great job fronting Pippen. Now the ball goes in, he deflects it. Now just guard your man, one-on-one. Don't reach, move your feet. An obvious, easy call for the official. Williams played great in transition, knocking down the 3s. This is a big momentum breaker right there.
Yeah.
Him getting his 4th.
Yeah, Jeff, he was the spark of this team in this third quarter, so he comes out, and Brevin Knight comes in with 4 fouls, and here is Scottie Pippen off the glass. Paul Gasol keeps his balance, has the rebound. 3-on-1, Knight feeding Geracek with the basket. Well, maybe they didn't lose their momentum because this team taking advantage of the transition off the turnover, leading by 4 on an 8-0 Memphis run.
And again, all of it's happened in transition. Portland's got to get more people back to protect the basket, and we got another run out here.
Vanier knocked the ball away, and Geracek, and the follow-up by Gasol. The basket counts in a foul. So the Memphis Grizzlies has a capacity crowd of over 19,000 on its feet here as they have come out big here in the third quarter and take the lead and can add to it.
You see the outlet right here. They've got a 3-on-1. They need a second defender back. Gierchek finishes with the layup. Here, Gierchek should have dropped the ball back to Gasol. Gasol got it anyway on the second shot. Fouled, three-point play possibility. Right now, Portland's transition defense is substandard. They need to get a second or third defender back and make Memphis grind it out in the half court.
And Memphis doing anything but grinding it out. And right now the timeout called by Mo Cheeks as Gasol hits the free throw. 7-point Memphis lead. And Battier with a real good defensive play under the basket at the other end started their second fast break. It's an 11-0 run for the homestanding Memphis Grizzlies, who lead by 7.
Tracy McGrady takes it back in the lane, serves it on.
What do you call a sports sedan? That's more sports than sedan. The all-new 220 horsepower Mazda 6.
That's quite an array of coaches. Mike Fratello, again, like normal, complaining that he didn't get a call. But I was fortunate to work for Rick Pitino at Providence College and with Brendan Malone, and those are some great, great basketball coaches that Hubie Brown developed.
Following the timeout, Portland down by 7. And here is Pippen. Anderson, 3 on the shot clock. Tight defense by Gierchek as he blocks Anderson's shot. And Brevin Knight is fouled by Pippen, who grabbed his hand. So they continue the aggressive play at both ends.
And again, I'm impressed by Gierchek, not only his offensive ability, but he's not getting beat off the dribble. Here he's moving his feet, then he goes up, finishes it off, contests and blocks the shot. He has better length and better quickness defensively than most people would suspect.
Gierchek sits down, and into the game for the first time, Mike Batiste, a rookie who was waived by the LA Clippers and signed right before the season began. Out of Arizona State, here is Brevin Knight with the jumper, and ahead of the field is Pippen, and he's going to get the basket. So he beat Knight down court after Knight missed the jumper, and he got burned. Pippen now with 14.
Again, in transition, you want to get as many easy baskets as you can, but not give them up. Transition defense is the hardest thing to teach a team, and it's really what separates a lot of teams in this league. The number of easy baskets you give and the number of easy baskets you prevent.
There's an opportunity. Of course, it's still Trail Blazers ball, but they didn't take advantage of the 2-on-1.
See, Pippen contests here in the left corner, runs out. Knight takes too long to get back. Good advance pass. Pippen catches and finishes.
Trail Blazers inbounding as we wind down to the 4-minute mark in the third. Bonzi Wells and hitting from outside. Well, you want him to take that shot.
Exactly. That's excellent defense by Drew Gooden. He forced a perimeter jump shot by Wells. He contested it high and hard. Wells just knocked it in. Great shot, good defense.
Wells and Pippen each with 14, and the only Trail Blazers in double figures. And Arvydas Sabonis in the game, and he makes Lorenzen Wright alter his shot. So Portland coming back now, trailing by 3 with 3:42 remaining in the third. Here's Sabonis with the familiar hook shot, and now all of a sudden it's a one-point game.
Again, they're making him play half court at one end, down there on their offensive end. Portland drives it deep into the paint to Sabonis, who has a huge mismatch against Batiste.
And Hubie Brown would say this is a good timeout by the coach right here. Want to remind you that TNT is your exclusive home for the NBA All-Star Weekend in Atlanta. Coverage will begin Friday, February 7th, exclusively on TNT. Starts with the celebrity game, then the Got Milk Rookie Challenge, All-Star Saturday night. Always great entertainment, and then capping with the 2003 NBA All-Star Game from Phillips Arena in Atlanta, starting at 8 p.m. on Sunday, February 9th, and it's great to see TNT now the home of the NBA All-Star Game.
It should be exciting with all the new young players to see how many of the young players. Yao Ming looks like he'll certainly be the starter at center, and I'll be interested to see if Amari Stoudemire of Phoenix makes the All-Star game. Phoenix, probably to me, is the most improved team in the league. Marbury's playing great, Sean Marion's playing great, but the difference is they have an inside presence now with Stoudemire.
How about Phoenix in the Pacific and the Utah Jazz in the Midwest? And a lot of people didn't expect the Jazz to do what they've accomplished so far.
Well, again, everybody wants to close that window of opportunity for the Jazz. They've been shutting that window for about the last decade. And certainly they're not a championship team right now, but what they are is they're an excellent offensive team. They lead the league in field goal percentage. They pass and cut and move the ball unselfishly. Malone and Stockton are still efficient, but they've done a good job adding Matt Harpring and Andre Karolinko. And then defensively, they're going to battle you. They are a reflection of Jerry Sloan, his toughness, his tenacity, and even though they haven't won a championship in Malone and Stockton's time, Dick, I think those guys have to be considered champions.
And I agree, and Hubie Brown will talk you about the Utah Jazz and what they've done to him in the two games that they played each other. Let's check in now with Charles Davis.
Thanks, Dick. This has been a big day for me. First Danny Glover, now another legend, Isaac Hayes, now living here in Memphis. And Isaac, you were the headliner at halftime, leading the crowd in the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. What does this Martin Luther King weekend mean to you?
Well, it means a very worthy celebration of a birthday that happened, and if it hadn't happened, the world wouldn't be the same. So I'm so proud that this man came along in my lifetime, that I had a chance to witness all the things before and after. He made changes in the world all over, and he should be celebrated. And it should be a celebration every year on this man's birthday.
He's having quite a dramatic effect on a lot of people, and we're seeing the remnants of that here on the court today. Dick?
All right, Charles, thank you very much. And that great presentation at halftime. Of course, Isaac Hayes, who sang the anthem and also leading the choir into a great song. You feel so spirited being in this town. I know that we were out watching the parade, the Martin Luther King Day Parade in Memphis. And you know what? I think we're all fortunate to be in this city on this day.
There's a great energy in the city. There's been a great buzz at this arena. It's been a great atmosphere for an NBA regular season game.
1-point lead for Memphis. They get it down low to Dale Davis, and here is Jeff McGinnis with the drive, and it doesn't go. McGinnis with Anderson and Davis, and getting the ball back, Bonzi Wells. And Arvydas Sabonis as well, and this will be a foul, and sending Hubie Brown to the water bottle again as Brevin Knight picking up his second foul, and forced to be in there because Jason Williams, who caught fire here in the third quarter with 10 points and 3 threes on the bench with 4 personals. Last touch by the Grizzlies with 2:28 remaining in this third quarter. Jason Williams spending too much time on the bench for the Grizzlies' liking. McGinnis, the former Clipper, who decided to play with Portland, putting up the shot. Basket counts and a foul. And Brevin Knight picking up the personal, and he's got 3.
Again, that's where McGinnis is at its best. He drives the ball baseline into that 12 or 15-foot area. He goes up, elevates over Brevin Knight. Knight fouls again, another jump shooter. That's his second mistake fouling jump shooters. But Jeff McGinnis started with the LA Clippers, signed as a free agent in the offseason. He's used to starting and playing a significant role. He's had a heck of a game tonight in that mid-range area.
Yeah, he thought he might challenge for a starting role, but that wasn't to be. But he has handled himself very well as the Trail Blazers regaining the lead during this current run. Gasol misses on the turnaround. And 2 minutes remain here in the third quarter. So it's been a game of streaks. 11 run off by Memphis, 9 straight right now by the Trail Blazers. Wells' jumper doesn't go. And now with under 2 minutes to go in the third, the Grizzlies trying to tie the game. Drew Gooden with a second and third effort. Great hustle by Gooden, but it comes down to Wells. Memphis getting back defensively. McGinnis, Wells, Sabonis, Dale Davis, and Derek Anderson in there for the Portland Trail Blazers. And a three-point shot missed by Wells. Offensive rebound by Davis. And Person staying with Anderson, and Batiste coming up high for the rebound. 1 minute remaining here in the third quarter at the Pyramid in Memphis. Person to Batiste for 3, and rebound by Davis. That's where you'd like Person to be taking the three-point attempt.
But I like the level of unselfishness that Memphis is playing with. They're hitting the open man. They're getting good shots. They're not as good in half court as they are in transition. And here's another transition opportunity off the turnover.
Pau Gasol got his hand on it and tried to force it into Batiste, and it's deflected by Anderson. And the offensive foul against Memphis. So it's half a minute remaining here in the third quarter. First of a triple header from the Pyramid. The Portland Trail Blazers lead the Memphis Grizzlies 66-64. Dick Stockton along with Jeff Van Gundy and Charles Davis with you. And coming up next, it'll be the Celtics and the 76ers, followed by the third game of our triple header between the Lakers and the Clippers. And we're here on TNT, the exclusive home of the 2003 NBA All-Star Game. McGinnis off the glass, and Ruben Patterson fighting for the loose ball, and it comes down to Knight playing for the last shot. Grizzlies looking to tie the game going into the fourth, and the basket counts and a foul. Going away from the grain was Brevin Knight, and a chance to put Memphis in front.
That's the second time that Knight is isolated up at the top of the key on a last shot opportunity and beating guys off the dribble. He beat Pippen earlier in the game for a basket. Right there, three-point play to give the Grizzlies a 1-point lead.
And plenty of time for the Trail Blazers to get a decent shot off in the final seconds. Anderson missing from near midcourt. So the three-point play by Brevin Knight with seconds remaining, regaining the lead for the Memphis Grizzlies. Their first points in over 5 minutes, and after 3 quarters of play here at the Pyramid, the Grizzlies lead the Portland Trail Blazers 67-66.
All new, 220 horses, and one more thing.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Wendy's classic hamburger that's perfect for you. Made fresh right off the grill, so it's always hot and juicy. The classic hamburgers at Wendy's. It's better here.
Oh, that is.
Greg, can I borrow your tank?
Yeah, sure, Phil.
Introducing Phillips' $1 million Big Shot Sweepstakes. It's the only shot that counts. Enter to win at NBA.com to take a shot at winning $1 million at the NBA All-Star 2003. And now with Phillips, everyone wins with rebates from $50 to $100 on selected Phillips products. Check out participating retailers or visit NBA.com and you may be the big shot.
Okay, it's straight.
Okay.
Got to admit, it's getting better, a little better, all the time.
Rated E for everyone.
Marriage can be heaven. I love you. Sister-in-laws can be hell.
Well, don't mind us. We're just having sex. So I should just come back in, what, 2 minutes?
And some players...
He might be the man to rid us of evil. If I can get that woman, I'll go down and play a Hall of Fame.
...think they can work miracles.
What's the accident rates on these things?
Where I dropped this.
From the writer-director of The Brothers, LL Cool J, Gabrielle Union, deliver us from Eva.
I think I might love her.
Forgot the rules. Players don't feel. It's like a pimp with a health plan.
Rated R. Starts February 7th.
This is Beale Street in Memphis. Memphis, the home of the blues, and all of the clubs are on this street. So much soul in Memphis. And here on the Martin Luther King Jr. Day, Around the League is presented by Bud Light. What's going on around the league, Jeff?
Well, even though Dallas has lost 3 in a row, they still are 4 up against Sacramento. That's why you get that great start that they had, so you have a cushion. Unfortunately, John Lucas got fired, and Keith Smart of Indiana fame beating Syracuse in the final, your alma mater.
Yeah, that hurts.
Hey, we lost them to Syracuse in that same Final Four when I was at Providence with Rick Pitino.
But Keith Smart, the interim coach there, and Battier bats the ball away. Last touch by Memphis. 8 seconds on the shot clock. As we start the fourth quarter, Dick Stockton, Jeff Van Gundy, Charles Davis with you. Battier, former Duke Blue Devil. And here's Ruben Patterson with a fake and a scoop. Doesn't drop. Brevin Knight with Lorenzen right. Drew Gooden, Wesley Person, and Shane Battier for the white-shirted Memphis Grizzlies.
There was miscommunication there. Brevin Knight didn't want Drew Gooden to clear out. He wanted to isolate him against Sabonis at about 12 or 15 feet. Miscommunication. Gooden stepped all the way to the three-point line. Sabonis deflected the pass out of bounds.
Sabonis with Bonzi Wells, Ruben Patterson, Derek Anderson, and Jeff McGinnis for Mo Cheeks Trail Blazers. On this road trip and without Rasheed Wallace. The turnaround by Gooden and a loose ball foul has been called against Derek Anderson of Portland.
On that side out of bounds previously, that was the first time Portland has shown its zone defense, trying to protect Sabonis against the quickness of the front court of Memphis. Here they're back man to man.
And the block with the foot. Sabonis, as we mentioned, after a year off, coming back into play, has had a major impact as the backup center, and when rested, he can still dominate in those short stretches.
He sure can, because he has he's a threat in so many ways. You can post him up, you can run cutters off the post, he can shoot the perimeter jump shot, and just his size alone has an effect defensively. It's hard to get quality shots around the basket against his great size.
Antonio Daniels, you saw, check into the game, replacing Anderson. And Wesley Person off the screen, rebound by Wells. Opening minutes of the fourth quarter, the Grizzlies leading by 1. Back home after dropping 5 out of the 6 games they played on the West Coast. Here's Ruben Patterson working in against Gooden. And they're going to call the foul on Drew Gooden. His first, so a strong international flavor in this game. Robert Archibald just put on the injured list from Scotland. And we have Gasol, Giracek, and Trubanski from Poland as the jumper hit by McGinnis, who has 13 off the bench, very quietly doing a solid job tonight.
He's a quality guard, and his field goal percentage, like I said before, is down this year, but he's been a high field goal percent shooter ever since he's been in this league, particularly as a starter.
And he gets the rebound here, Jeff, on the miss by Battier from the corner. Trail Blazers leading by 1 in the seesaw game that we have here. Biggest lead for Portland was 10. Daniels has a shot blocked by Person. Trevor Knight coming in, and here is a chance now for Memphis. They have a 4-on-3 break. Person from 3, way off the mark. And Ruben Patterson pushing it up for the Trail Blazers.
Even though Person missed that shot opportunity, that is his shot. Transition 3. Portland's got to pay more attention to him at the three-point line in transition.
Battier committing the foul, and Daniels with a nifty behind-the-back pass to Ruben Patterson, who will go to the line.
And as you've seen already in this game, it's really been hard for Maurice Cheeks as we see Daniels drive the ball, find Patterson along the baseline, and get fouled. It's been difficult on Maurice Cheeks with the log jam he has at point guard. He's got Pippen, who's a top 50 player of all time. Damon Stoudemire, who's been a starter in this league his entire career. McGinnis, who started last year in LA, and then Daniels, who's been a starter off and on when he was in Vancouver and then in San Antonio. It's really a difficult situation trying to get everybody minutes, and Maurice Cheeks realized he had to make hard decisions, and you can't play everybody, you can't keep everybody happy. The only way to be happy in this league is to win. Cutting down his rotation has spurred them to this kind of start.
Yeah, Jeff, he simply took charge and decided, I'm not going to play 9 and 10 men all the time. I went down to 7, and then he added a couple of players in the rotation, but basically he's cut it down right out of bounds, and it'll be Portland ball as they check with the officials. Ruben Patterson, by the way, at the other end, made 1 free throw, 60% shooter. So a 2-point lead for the Trail Blazers, and Jason Williams, who has been hampered by foul trouble starting in the beginning when he picked up 2 in the first quarter, has 4 back in the lineup, and they're going to need his explosiveness. Bonzi Wells defended by Battier. Driving around Battier, blocked by Gasol. Portland still has it. 3 on the shot clock. Daniels with a miss. Good defensive sequence by Memphis.
Great block shot by Gasol, and quietly, Memphis is one of the top shot blocking teams in the NBA, and then it leads, those type of shot blocks lead to transition.
And it was Lorenzen Wright with the lay-in. They are 8th in the league in block shots, and they're playing without Stromile Swift, who is their second best shot blocker. So they're getting aggressive inside. McGinnis and Sabonis and Wright battling for the loose ball out of bounds, and it's last touched by the Grizzlies. Tied at 69. What a game we have leading off this triple header on this very special Monday on TNT with just under 9 minutes to go in the fourth.
Which are your colors? What brightens up your day? What is your passion? What puts a smile on your face? Laughter is the music of the soul. It's your way of showing the world you can be happy, that you live in full color. Being true to yourself, it's what you really enjoy. Be you. Budweiser. True.
A new, more powerful V8 engine. More distinctive styling. 368 improvements in all. The new 2003 Discovery. It's a whole new way to see the world. From Land Rover, the most well-traveled vehicles on Earth. Nicely equipped from $34,995. Complimentary scheduled maintenance included. In 1991, 6 men set off on a collision course with history. George Clooney.
This is the moment of truth.
Mark Wahlberg. The Perfect Storm. Wednesday night at 8 on TNT. Move. Ready.
Hello, ladies.
Set. Let's go. Gone. Coming to TNT 3 nights in a row. Nicolas Cage.
We do this, we do it my way.
Angelina Jolie.
What do you think is more exciting, having sex or stealing cars?
For the first time on network television. Gone in 60 seconds. 3 nights in a row. Starting Friday, February 14th at 8. Only on TNT.
Okay, let's ride.
We know drama. From TNT, a special encore of the new TNT original.
You couldn't get work, Monty.
His trusted friend will become his deadly enemy.
If I was starving, I wouldn't wrestle. That's it.
From the director of Lonesome Dove.
Since when you've been doing Law's work, Monty?
Tom Selleck is Monty Walsh, the last cowboy. Don't miss this epic western. Saturday afternoon at 2:45, only on TNT. We know drama.
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. Let's see what y'all are thinking about the NBA.com question of the night. The first answer, they will win the NBA Finals to how the Lakers will fare this season. Running number 2, they will miss the playoffs altogether, getting 23%. So a lot of folks remaining unconvinced despite the fact the Lakers have won 7 of 9 and are now number 9 in the West. Dick?
It's all or nothing, Ernie. I mean, they're going to win the championship or they're not going to make the playoffs. In between didn't get much support, Jeff.
I'd be shocked by either one. I'd be shocked if they won it this year, and I'd be shocked if they didn't make it. You can't play on the road all the time without it coming back at some point, I would think, to hurt you. Their bad start, I think, will cost them.
McGinnis with Daniels, Ruben Patterson, Arvydas Sabonis, and Zach Randolph, who has just come into the game, and Lorenzen Wright. That is his first foul. Tied at 69 with 8:40 to go, and Scottie Pippen, who's been on the bench for nearly 7 minutes, Jeff. So whenever Mo Cheeks decides it's time, boy, he should have a lot left.
He should, and I really like this strategy of going into Sabonis, playing through him in the post. He can get quality shot opportunities, and he can create offense for others.
Here's Patterson with Battier shadowing him, knocked away. 1 on the shot clock. The turnaround. Battier, and the shot clock expired. Credit Shane Battier.
Good defense, but Portland missed an opportunity. They threw it into Sabonis. He threw it out. They should have reposted him, give him a second look. You can't ignore a 7'3" skilled post-up player, and sometimes I think Portland overlooks his greatness in the low post.
No question about it, because he can be so valuable as a passer when he gets the ball or putting up the shot. He's been around, to say the least, and Sabonis reaches in and fouls Lorenzen Wright. You know, the three-point shooting, and Hubie told us this before the game, has to be key for them today, and it's been that way. They're 6 of 13 from beyond the arc. Portland struggling at 1 for 7. You know, that's 15-point difference right there.
And that's one of the ways they miss Rasheed Wallace. Wallace, as a four-man, is their second leading three-point shooter behind Damon Stoudemire, who doesn't play. So it's critical Wallace's absence on the three-point line.
Steal by Patterson as he just took the ball away out at the point. From Guricek. Quiets the crowd somewhat as Trail Blazers leading by 2. 6 on the shot clock, going up without the ball is Guricek, and Battier gets it back, nearly throws it away. Memphis a little reckless right now on the offensive end. Daniels feeding McGinnis, hitting a jumper, and Hubie may want the timeout. Yes.
And again, turnovers leading to easy baskets in transition. The teams are playing well and scoring well in transition. Here, a steal by Patterson, leading to a transition dunk.
only on TNT.
Trail Blazers by 4, 7:29 remaining in the fourth quarter. Hubie Brown said, well, I got to find out if I had chemistry when I first got here. Now I got to find out who can close for us, and that may be a factor in this game. Memphis has lost a lot of close games and 4 out of 5 overtime affairs. Battier defended by Ruben Patterson, and the foul called against Patterson, who quickly denies fouling.
No culpability at all. But you're right about closers in this league. Just like in baseball, certain players want to play in the first 3 quarters of the game. Not as many want to play down the stretch when it's all on the line. You've got to always find those people with the courage, like Jason Williams as he throws up a 3, who will want to finish a game.
Pau Gasol trying to follow up out of bounds, and they're going to say Portland's possession. So David Jones saw it best from the sideline, and the turnover gives the ball to Mo Cheeks' Portland Trail Blazers. Remember, this is the second game of a 7-game suspension. They're going to have to go without Rasheed Wallace, who had his season's high against the Grizzlies last Wednesday. 38 points, added 10 rebounds. It's going to be tough without him. Sabonis with the shot. You're right. You get it down low to him, he can do many things.
You have to keep milking that matchup. He's too big, he's too strong, and he's too skilled to be defended by one man. And if he's double-teamed, they'll hurt him with the pass.
Grizzlies only 1 for 8 shooting here in this quarter, and the jump drop from the corner by Giracek.
Again, another impressive one-on-one move. One hard dribble to the baseline and then elevates. He's 6'6", and he's got a good bounce to his pull-up jump shot.
Giracek with 15 points, leading the Memphis scorers, and they have 5 players in double figures. Terrific balance, but here's that man Sabonis again, and it won't drop. The offensive rebound. Randolph, the basket and the foul. Zach Randolph, who has not done much offensively and forced into the starting lineup to replace Rasheed Wallace with a chance for a 3-point conversion.
Here Sabonis comes across the middle, goes to his hook. Randolph just bullies Lorenzen right underneath the basket, seals him under, rebound, 3-point play opportunity. Defensive rebounding, Dick, has been an Achilles heel for Memphis the entire year. It's hard to win when other teams are getting more shot opportunities.
In his second year from Michigan State, Zach Randolph with under 6 minutes to go in the fourth. And a foul called against Randolph for the Trail Blazers. And you can see Maurice Cheeks say, well, let's settle down here. Let's not start complaining about these calls and possibly risking another technical.
And also, those are the type of fouls that get you in the penalty too early in the fourth quarter. That's their 14th foul, an unnecessary foul. So now, if you need to take a foul at some point, it puts them in to the bonus.
Basket counts, Jason Williams, and the foul. So that'll be the 15th foul for Portland. And Jason Williams, who has had to battle foul trouble with 12 points all coming here in the second half.
Gasol gives him a handoff. Jason Williams, nice spin move, gets a kind bounce, and a chance for another 3-point play opportunity.
McGinnis bumping him, and Williams now with 13 points, including 3 from downtown, and the Trailblazer lead is cut to 4.
And because of the Sabonis matchup, Memphis has gone back to their 3-2 zone.
McGinnis and Daniels outside, and here is Patterson driving to the basket nicely. Ruben Patterson now with 11.
You have to close out on Patterson and play him as a driver. Shane Battier, even in the zone, got beat to the middle of the floor. You want perimeter players driving the ball baseline, but you should not be overextending on Patterson.
Williams throws the ball away, and the layup by Antonio Daniels, and Hubie Brown really upset now, will call the timeout. So the turnover resulting in the easy transitional basket, and Ruben Patterson becoming the big spark here. It'll be a 20-second timeout called by Memphis as Portland opens up an 8-point lead. Next on TNT, Game 2 of our special triple header, as Antoine Walker and Paul Pierce lead the Celtics into Philadelphia to take on Allen Iverson and the 76ers.
And again, Hubie Brown's got to be upset with his team. It's a very good shooting team. They're 5th in the league in field goal shooting, but they're a high turnover team. Today they've got 16 turnovers for 21 points of Portland, and that's just too many in a close game. So he's got to try to get his team to understand the value of the ball and the importance of getting a shot each and every time down the floor.
And of course, Jason Williams, his point guard, has to always play under control, and that looks like it's going to be an ongoing campaign for Coach Brown.
Well, when you have someone like Jason Williams who has a unique flair for the game, he's got a great handle, sees the court very well, you don't want to rein him in too much, and yet at the same time, you don't want him to have the careless turnovers that leads to easy baskets. So really, when you're dealing with a talent like him, it's a fine line of how much to rein him in.
He does have 5 turnovers in this one, but nearly 5 minutes to go, plenty of time as the Trail Blazers opening up an 8-point lead. And a steal, another bad pass, and Antonio Daniels going in with the easy basket. So too many easy hoops for the Trail Blazers, who open up the 10-point lead. And Williams again with the pass and didn't have enough mustard on it.
And again, they switched along the baseline, and then Daniels shot the gap for the steal, which leads to another transition dunk, which has really ignited their run.
And the Trail Blazers now have matched their biggest lead of the game. We'll be right back.
In 1991, 6 men set off on a collision course with history. George Clooney.
This is the moment of truth.
Mark Wahlberg. The Perfect Storm. Wednesday night at 8 on TNT.
A new, more powerful V8 engine. More distinctive styling. 368 improvements in all. The new 2003 Discovery. It's a whole new way to see the world. From Land Rover, the most well-traveled vehicles on Earth. Nicely equipped from $34,995. Complimentary scheduled maintenance included.
From TNT, a special encore of the new TNT original.
You couldn't get work, Monty.
His trusted friend would become his deadly enemy.
If I was starving, I wouldn't wrestle. That's it.
From the director of Lonesome Dove.
Since when you've been doing Law's work, Monty?
Tom Selleck is Monty Walsh, the last cowboy. Don't miss this epic western, Saturday afternoon at 2:45, only on TNT. We know drama. Move. Ready.
Hello, ladies.
Set.
Let's go.
Gone. Coming to TNT 3 nights in a row. Nicolas Cage.
We do this, we do it my way.
Angelina Jolie.
What do you think is more exciting, having sex or stealing cars?
For the first time on network television. Gone in 60 seconds. 3 nights in a row. Starting Friday, February 14th at 8. Only on TNT.
Okay, let's ride.
We know drama.
We load up on him a lot. We know he's a great scorer. We try to force some of them other guys to beat us. Eric Snow, Aaron McKee. So we're going to do a lot of, it's not so much trapping. We just try to put, 2 guys on the same floor as Iverson and force him to pass the basketball and make them other guys beat us.
Antoine Walker, there you see the matchup with Pierce and Iverson as the Celtics with a 2-game bulge on Philadelphia behind New Jersey in the Atlantic.
And Philly's really struggled more defensively recently than they have offensively. Their role players have played well offensively, but they've got to get back to Philadelphia-type defense.
Here's the pick and roll in, and the block by Ruben Patterson. Good play by Patterson defensively. Pull up by Daniels. Antonio Daniels, once a first-round pick by the Vancouver Grizzlies, is doing some damage here in the fourth. 1/4 of Portland's points in this game is fast break transition baskets. They've got 10 transition points in this fourth quarter alone. And Bo Cheeks saying, what are we going to do without Rasheed Wallace and his production? He says other people are going to have to step up. Well, today he's gotten 40 points from his bench. And his bench has played not just well offensively, but also defensively, giving them some stops and some opportunities to get out in transition, which is looking at that bench production. Portland with the biggest lead of 12, but now the Grizzlies trying to come back. A low pass to Battier, and so no fast break opportunity with under 4 minutes to go in the fourth. Lorenz and Wright. And Battier for three. Shane Battier for three, and that is the 7th three-pointer by the Grizz tonight.
And they needed that basket to try to get themselves back and energized. Offensively, they've been struggling to handle the ball there. A good pass, right on time and on target, led to a great shot opportunity for Battier.
And there's the lob pass, McGinnis to Ruben Patterson. And once again, the bench getting the job done. Patterson with 13 points, and Scottie Pippen looks like he may be sitting for the rest of this game. Trailblazers by 11. Jason Williams in traffic. Battier, and a no basket if it goes. There's a foul.
McGinnis is penetrating. Battier gets sucked out to the corner. McGinnis throws it up to Patterson, making a baseline cut. Great pass, great timing. Poor defense by Sean Battier because, again, Ruben Patterson is not a spot-up shooter. He should have been jammed in the lane. He should not have gotten beat back door for an alley-oop block.
Williams hitting the free throw. Foul was on McGinnis. He has 15 points to lead the Trailblazers, and Jason Williams making them both. All of his 15 points have come in the second half. The lead is 9 as we get close to the 3-minute mark here in the fourth. Portland Trailblazers tied for 6th in the West right now with the Houston Rockets coming into today's play with 12 games in action on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Here is Ruben Patterson from the corner, batted away from Sabonis. Here's Williams again. And the pass inside, and Gasol let it go by, and Lorenz and Wright gets the basket. Memphis a little fortunate there, Jeff.
Again, that's the second time Williams has left his feet to make a pass. Gasol and Lorenz and Wright were looking up at the basket, expecting rebound. Fortunately for them, a catch and a layup.
7-point game. Under 2.5 to go. Zach Randolph with a key basket.
Again, there's the value of Sabonis. They threw it into him. Randolph made a cut. Nice little bounce pass. Easy basket for Randolph.
And Williams for three. Sabonis getting the rebound and knocked away. And a foul is called against Lorenz and Wright.
And again, Jason Williams is trying to tell Gasol, keep your eyes on me. Let's keep eye contact on the break. I may leave my feet and look to you. But Gasol's got a tough thing. He's running the floor looking layup, but he's also trying to get an area established to get rebounding position.
So Sabonis will go to the free throw line. He has played 29 minutes with 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. And he is truly the relief pitcher. You know, Maurice Cheeks just says, points to his right arm, come on in.
And they went to that relief pitcher early and often. They're going to have to ice Sabonis down for about a week to get him back.
Yeah, he won't be able to go an inning tomorrow, will he now?
No, he may not come off and play in their next game.
Yeah. Hey, Mo, it's short relief, not long relief that you want for Arvidas. Here's Lorenz and Wright. And Ruben Patterson crashing the boards out of bounds, and it's last touched by Portland. However, it works for the Trailblazers, who are coming off a home loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. There you see the Blazers 11 for 20 this quarter, but most of them have been the transitional variety.
And what I like about Mo Cheeks is that he has had 4 non-starters on the floor almost the entire fourth quarter. Instead of just going back like most coaches would to their starting unit to finish the game, he's allowing his group that's playing well together to finish the game, and he's ridden the hot hand, and the hot hand in that group has delivered for them.
Yeah, they have. The bench, as we mentioned, scoring a tremendous amount, making up, and they never really came back with Scottie Pippen. Didn't have to in this game. The bench scoring 44 of Portland's 92 points, and now make it to 93 as Zach Randolph hits the first. Well, for the next 5 games for the Blazers will be on the road, and for the next 5 for the Grizzlies will be right here at the Pyramid. And Ruben Patterson will leave the game. And Quintel Woods makes an appearance here, and why not? The Jumped from junior college to the NBA, native of Memphis, and almost signed with the Memphis Tigers.
Memphis certainly would have had a great team if Wagner would have stayed and Amari Stoudemire and Wintel Woods would not have opted for the draft. What a team that would have been for John Calipari.
So at least Woods gets a chance to get on the floor here in the waning moments of the game.
And even though he considers it the game over right now, he's got to play these minutes as hard as he can so that the next time Maurice Chinks thinks of him, he thinks and remembers, hey, this guy, even in what most players would think is garbage time, comes back and plays hard, and they think Quintel Woods is going to be a very, very good player. Maurice Cheeks and assistant coach Herb Brown think he's got a chance to be something special.
Well, he had a chance early in the month with a suspension to Bonzi Wells in one game against the Utah Jazz, had 10 points in 19 minutes, so he did make the most of his opportunity, at least in that game. Nearly a minute and a half to go in this one, and the Trail Blazers putting this one away, leading 93-83. But the Grizzlies, you knew they would play hard, and they did so tonight. Out of bounds, we'll turn it over to Memphis, and we want to remind you to visit NBA.com or Valpak.com to register for your chance to win a trip to the 2004 NBA All-Star Game. We all know the 2003 contest will be in Atlanta, and it'll be a great weekend of coverage on TNT, capped by the annual All-Star Game on Sunday at 8 p.m.
Dick, the Grizzlies played extremely hard today. They just didn't play efficiently enough with the ball. Too many turnovers. That led to too many easy baskets. With a team like Memphis has, a young team, they have no margin of error. You cannot turn the ball over and win games. Home or road.
Antonio Daniels with the jumper and Lorenzen Wright with the stuff. But you know this team is well coached, and you can say that. We're not saying it because we know and respect and like Hubie so much, but Hubie Brown has made an impact without question here.
There's no doubt that this team is more organized, more structured, and more disciplined right now. And I think Portland, in its own right, is also well coached with Maurice Cheeks. He just hasn't carved out the reputation yet that a Hubie Brown has, but he's done a great job for his team as well.
Zach Randolph with the ball, hit the last jumper, and so often the season has ended in tremendous disappointment for the Portland Trail Blazers, but I think that this is a team that can feel good about themselves for the first time in many years with all of the problems that they have on and off the floor. They seem to be more focused than we can remember.
This is a great bounce-back win for them. When Wallace got suspended and they lost at home to Minnesota, to come back tonight against a very hot Grizzlies team at home, down your best player and win convincingly. Great bounce-back win for the Trail Blazers.
Well, Hubie Brown is still working, and they know they need some help, and the Memphis Grizzlies will get help. As you mentioned, they got a great staff. 22 points for Wright. 6 players in double figures, however, for Portland. McGinnis with 15 leads the way. Lorenzen Wright led the Grizz with 22 points.
With 22 points and 9 rebounds.
So the final score, Trailblazers 99, the Grizzlies 87. Coming up, game 2 of our triple header, Celtics and 76ers. For Jeff Van Gundy, Charles Davis, this is Dick Stockton saying good evening from Memphis, Tennessee. And after a short break, we'll take you to Philadelphia for the second game of our triple header. So long, everybody.